World Poker Tour rolls out the red carpet, inviting Hollywood heavyweights and some of the biggest names in poker to battle for a prize pool worth hundreds of thousands and the WPT title.
From Hollywood, the land of sunshine and stars, this is the WPT Invitational.
The World Poker Tour is a series of international poker tournaments featuring some of the biggest games and largest payouts on the planet. Tonight, we're in Southern California at the Commerce Casino, home of the biggest card games in town and host of the WPT's Special Invitational. Join us as Tinseltown's finest compete with champions of the poker world for a prize pool worth $200,000. At the beginning of the tournament, Hollywood celebrities and world-class poker players joined us by special invitation to vie for one of only 6 spots at the WPT final table. By the end of the night, only one will join the ranks of world-class players as they advance to compete against 11 other title holders at the WPT Championship worth millions. And now, down to the WPT Arena, where poker champion Mike Sexton and Hollywood's own home game hero Vince Van Patten are standing by.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the World Poker Tour. I'm Mike Sexton along with Vince Van Patten. We are in Commerce, California for the World Poker Tour Invitational Tournament. Vince, it is great to be here. How you doing?
I'm doing great, Mike. Listen, we had a great time last night. Hollywood celebrities mixing it up in the room with poker legendary superstars. Everybody had a good time. I was in the tournament, got bounced out very early, but I did get a free T-shirt for my efforts.
Well, Vince, I am sorry that you're not at that final table, but I'm glad you're here with me. Now, the World Poker Tour Invitational is unique in the poker world. It's unique in that it's a $200,000 free roll tournament, meaning these players didn't put up anything to enter. Now, unlike other sports where amateurs don't get to play against the top pros, in poker, that happens. And these celebrities had the chance to play against the best poker players in the world, and Vince, they loved it.
They sure did. They had a great time. Let's talk about the celebrity that made the big splash last night, Mickey Rooney. He's 83 years young. The man was practicing in the back room, 5-card draw. He had no idea what we were going to play. He picks up Hold'em for the first time in his life, and he finishes 7th. It was just an amazing accomplishment. Let's talk about the players you're going to be seeing today in the final 6. The chip leader at this point, a man named Lane Flack. You've seen him before on the World Poker Tour. He's incredible. The man has $763,000.
He has 10 times more chips than the guy in second chip position. That happens to be Tony Maw, a former tournament poker player of the year. Tony starting out today with $76,000 in chips.
Okay, 3rd chip position, a fantastic, legendary poker player that all fear him very much. Men, the master win. He has $62,000 worth of chips, and if anybody can take a run at Lane, this man can.
In 4th chip position is sort of a dark horse. It's Andy Glazer. He's a writer. Now, he's not unique to poker in that he covers final table action in many of the tournaments. Congratulations to Andy for getting to this final table. He's starting out today with $55,000 in chips.
Okay, in 5th chip position is a man named David Chu, originally from China, now lives in Los Angeles. $50,000 worth of chips. He's won all kinds of titles. He is a player to be feared.
In 6th place is a name that most of you are going to recognize. It is the owner of the Los Angeles Lakers, Jerry Buss. But let me tell you about Jerry. He's not a novice to poker. He plays high-stakes poker a lot with a lot of these great champions. And Vince, he lives a lifestyle that we all envy.
It's unbelievable. Look, we had about 15 celebrities show up, and the odds were in the beginning that it would be 12-1 that one makes the final table. Well, they did it. Jerry represents him. He's made this final table. Listen, this guy is great. I mean, he's Mr. Lucky. He goes out with young, beautiful women. He owns the Lakers, and he can play great poker.
Well, Vince, this whole week has been a fun week for these players, but now you're going to see a little more serious poker here at the final table.
Now, don't forget, we're going to play no limit hold'em here. You can bet anything you want at any time, and the great thing about it is that we get to see their whole cards. We're going to get in the minds and the souls of the players.
So the players are about to start, Mike.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. It was a pleasure playing with you yesterday. And you, I'll never forget you. But congratulations and good luck to you all. Shuffle up and deal.
Okay, it's going to be on Lane Flack, talented young player. And he goes out.
10-5 offsuit. He mucks his hand. Men has nothing in mucks. Tony Maw with a 4-9 offsuit. He folds.
Oh,
now here we go. This
yes.
is Andy Glazer. Now, Andy's an esteemed poker writer. He's coming in raising the first pot with 2 threes.
He's got a legitimate hand, a pair of threes.
Jerry Buss quickly calls $12,000 with an ace queen of hearts. Now, I'm a little surprised, Vince, that he didn't raise and move in over the top with this hand.
Well, that is a strong hand, ace queen of hearts. But he's now very satisfied to just call.
We're up to the last player to act here, which is David Chu. Now, David is a poker player's poker player. He's highly respected by everybody in the industry. This guy is a player, and right now he's got a decision. He's got ace-7 of spade, Vince. He has $4,000 in the pot. It cost him $8,000 more to call.
Very interesting first hand this is turning out to be.
Now, the fun part is we get to see these players' cards. Now, if you were sitting there with ace-7 of spade and it was raised and called to you, and it's only going to cost you $8,000 more to call, what would you do right here? And he opts to fold his hand, and you see it's a great fold by him with Jerry having ace-queen of hearts.
Well, you never know until that flop
Andy
comes
having a
in this
pair.
game, though. But here we go. We're going to see the flop heads up, and it's going to help Jerry.
Well, flop is ace-king, 8 of clubs. Andy checks.
Jerry bets 8,000.
Jerry has bet 8,000 right here.
Okay, swinging out there.
Now, although Andy has this small flush draw, I really would be very surprised if he would play this pot right now. He knows Jerry's a pretty conservative player.
He passes. Jerry wins the
Well, he's going to go out.
And there you see it. Our celebrity, Jerry Buss, owner of the Los Angeles Lakers, picks up the first pot at this final table.
Well, Jerry Buss with the old Buss touch. Everything he touches seems to turn to gold.
He is proud to be here, and he would love to win this championship.
Well, Jerry Buss doesn't need it, but for those of you who do not know how to play this game, we have a little lesson on just how to play No Limit Hold'em.
To start, each player is dealt 2 cards face down. Then, 5 community cards, cards everyone can play, are placed face up on the table. Each player combines their 2 hidden down cards with the community cards to make their best 5-card poker hand.
And betting is really what this game is all about. Let me explain. You get your first 2 cards, you make a bet. Then the dealer puts the first 3 community cards on the table. In poker, we call this the flop. They bet again. Then the dealer puts the 4th community card on the table. This is called the turn card. Once again, big round of betting. Then the last card. We call this the river. It's turned up on the table. They make a big last round of betting. Turn your cards over. You see who wins.
They call it no limit hold'em because there's no limit on how much a player can bet. At any moment, he can declare that he is all in and push all of his chips into the pot.
Right, and that makes chip position, or how many chips you have, very, very important in this game.
Well, it's good to see Jerry get off such a good start here, Vince. This is going to be sort of fun to watch him play here.
Well, it's going to be on Jerry this time to act first. This time he's got a 3-king offsuit.
He's going to fold.
A wise fold.
Next to act is David Chu, and he quickly raised the pot 12,000 with a 6-7 of spade.
Yep, a little suited connector.
Now
Lane's coming in with king-queen.
Now Lane calls him with the king-queen here.
Man the master.
Now for you viewers out there, notice that David Chu raised this pot with a 6-7 of spade. He didn't just limp in to try to call. When you raise it, his opponents may think he has big cards and he has middle cards. So he's changing gears here, but they don't know what he has.
Now, Man the Master has 10 jack of clubs. A lot of people consider this one of the strongest hands in Hold'em.
He's on the button. He's in position with the 10 jack of clubs. He does have a decision to make here, Vince, no doubt about it.
Man the Master. A lot of flashy jewelry. This guy is one of the greats in poker today.
He's counting out his chips. He's only got about 55,000 in chips. This cost him 12,000 here to call this bet if he wants to see a flop, which you know he does want to see a flop with a 10 jack of clubs.
We've seen crazier things happen. People raise on these kind of hands. What's he going to do?
He's opted to fold.
Now that's interesting. Now Tony Mo also out. Andy Glazer.
Andy Glazer with a king deuce offsuit. He folds. So we got a 2-way pot.
I cannot believe Men the Master folds Jack 10 of clubs.
Well, he did, and he gets up from the table there.
Yeah, he did.
Thinking about that decision.
Here comes the flop.
Now, the flop is ace-8-5. Now, although it's no apparent help, look at David Chu. He flopped an open-end straight, and he comes out firing at this
And Lane
spot.
is gone before he even bet it. He's going to take the pot with an open-ended straight draw. Well, David Chu, for the people out there that are saying, what the heck was that? He did flop an open-ended straight draw, but he wasn't there yet. No limit hold'em. You make a strong bet even if you're not there yet.
Nice playing right there by David Chu. You see how he earned that pot with a 6-7? He got Lane to lay down the king-queen. That's why he's a poker master.
Lane has all these chips, but these guys are taking it to him.
I started playing home games. I turned myself into a professional poker player. I won the close to 400,000.
Well, Vince, as a poker player, you got to love the way David Chu played that hand. He raised before the flop with a 6-7 of spade. He bet on the flop. He earned his pot, as we say in poker.
Now it's going to be on David Chu. He's going to take a look at his cards.
He looks at a 5-7 offsuit, and he folds.
Well, here we go with Lane Flack. He's picked up a big hand, ace-king, big slick, and he's going to raise it up.
Raising the pot.
And the master goes out with 3-9. Tony Ma's also going out.
Now look at this. Andy Glazer's picked up an ace-jack offsuit.
What is he going to do with this? Now, that's a pretty good hand also.
Well, he's on the short stack here. He's going to make a stand. He's moving all in.
He's going in.
With ace-jack, he knows against Lane, who's been raising consistently for 2 days straight now.
Jerry Buss
he could
goes
have
out.
anything. However, he's not going to like this result unless he gets lucky here, because Lane's certainly going to call him with ace-king.
Oh, and he certainly does, and they're going to flip the cards over.
Now watch. Look at Andy's disgusted look in his face.
Man, that's like a twisted dagger in your hand.
Well, he knows right now he's a big underdog to win this pot. It's ace-king versus ace-jack.
And here comes the flop.
And the flop is ace-king-queen. Now, although Lane has flopped a top 2 pair, this gives Andy Glazer a straight draw.
Hope, yeah.
If a 10 comes off, he will make an ace-high straight and win the pot. He is going to have a 10, or he's going to be our 6th place finisher.
7th on 4th Street. He does need a lot of luck. And he's not going to do it.
He doesn't get it. He throws his arms up.
Oh.
Andy Glazer goes out in 6th position.
Oh, man, he is disappointed, Mike.
Andy's going to have to get his pen out, and he's going to have to write about the rest of this final table, Vince.
We'll be right back from the World Poker Tour.
Hi, I'm Lou Diamond Phillips, and you're watching the World Poker Tour.
Well, at this stage, we welcome you back to the World Poker Tour Invitational Tournament. Lane Flack has a monster chip lead. But these other players at the table, Vince, they are sensational superstar poker players. David Chu, Men the Master, Tony Ma, all players of the year, and they know how to play a short stack.
Absolutely, they're geniuses here, and it's going to be on Tony Ma first to act. And he's got a 10-7 offsuit. He smiles, looks around the table. He's going to fold his hand.
Jerry Buss folds an ace-deuce offsuit.
Now David Chu has ace-10, and he's going to raise it up.
He's in position. He raised with ace-10, as he should.
Lane goes out.
Lane folds a queen-3.
Now look at this.
Now we're up to Men the Master win.
Hallelujah, men. He's picked up a huge hand, a pair of kings, Cowboys.
And believe me, Men is a poker master. Make no mistake about it.
Now look at the subtlety. Look at his face. You don't pick up anything from him. He's got a huge hand. He's trying to act a little confused there.
Now he's looking back at his hand again. Right now, inside, he's jumping for joy. He's on the short stack right now in this tournament, but he is thrilled to pick up these 2 kings.
Oh, look at
we
this.
certainly know he's going to play this pot.
Look at this, trying to contain his glee, how to play it. Men the Master looking around.
And notice David Chu studying him intently here. Is he going to go for this slow play and acting job or not? All in.
Oh!
He bangs his chips in there.
Oh, very dramatically, all in.
And David Chu quickly folds his hand.
Oh, he's showing it.
And Min shows the two kings.
He's showing the kings, the two cowboys. Now, this is a master player. Doesn't have to show the hand, Mike. Now, why does he do this? I know this annoys you when players show their hands.
I think it's a mistake on his part, and I'll tell you why. Because now David Chu knows that he folded an inferior hand, so he's got to be feeling good that he laid down that hand instead of played it.
Yes, but he's the master. I mean, he must know what he's doing. He's obviously advertising that he only plays great hands so that he can sucker you in when he has nothing.
Most of the players, they try to wait for the hands. I have to push my chip in and make sure that I got to take that pot.
Well, Min the master's got to feel good about picking up his first pot. He had a monster hand, two kings there.
Okay, Jerry's going out, as is David Chu. Lane Flack also going out. Now it's up to Min the master, who's already got a little money involved. He's already in the small blind.
He calls 2 more thousand. Now look at this. Tony Ma's picked up an ace high and just checks.
Okay.
He doesn't raise before the flop. So we have 2 former tournament poker players of the year in this pot, Min the master and Tony Ma. And here comes the flop. Ace, queen, 5, and here comes Min bluffing at this pot.
Yeah, he certainly is. He's trying to bluff here, but little does he know Tony Ma has a pair of aces.
Well, Min's thinking here was that since Tony didn't raise before the flop, he can't really put him on an ace here, so he's just trying to steal this pot away from him.
I'm all in.
Tony says, I'm all in.
Obviously, Min the master's going quickly out.
Tony Ma picks up his first pot. And you see Min's face there. He's not exactly thrilled with that play.
Min was just hoping that Tony Ma didn't have an ace, otherwise he wins that pot, and that's how top-level poker is played.
He's playing smart, that's for sure.
Well, Min the master didn't look like the master there. Tony Ma making a student out of him.
With Min the master, it's not too hard to play with him because I know how he plays, so I have a lot of strategy to play with him.
Okay, Tony throws away a deuce 4. Jerry going away with a 10-8.
Now David Chu, who's raised with a 6-7 of spade before, is on the button with it.
Yeah, he's got that special hand.
And he throws it away in position this time.
It's kind of surprising.
Very interesting play there. Lane calls with a 7 and a jack.
Now, Min the master has a 4-3 offsuit. Let's see what he does with it.
Now he could raise here or take a free flop.
I don't play hard against you.
And he's going to make a freebie here happen.
You thought with 2 million in chip?
It's Jack 7 versus 3-4, and look at this.
Wow.
The master has flopped 2 pair here.
Oh, look at him, and he's checking it. He's doing a little fur trapping.
Yes, he is. Now the 6 of diamonds
it
comes
again.
off. Well, I don't like
Last
that
card
check.
comes up.
The king comes off, Lane checks, the master bets. I don't like the master checking that hand on 4th Street. 4th Street brought a straight possibility and a flush possibility, and Lane could have made either a straight or a flush, and the master checked it on 4th Street. I think that was a very bad check by the master on 4th Street there.
So, in your opinion, even masters make mistakes at times?
Even the master misplayed that hand, I think. He still won the pot. Doesn't mean I think he played it correctly.
Well, it's going to be on Mr. Chip Leader, Lane Flack, first to act. And he's got 6 queen of clubs. He's not going to play.
He folds.
Back to Min the master. Now he's got a king and a 10 offsuit this time. Look at him squeeze those cards. Trying to make something happen, squeezing them slow. It's always an exciting thing when you're in a poker game.
He's reaching for his chips. He's going to raise it.
Yes, he is.
Min the master brings it in for 12,000 with the king 10 offsuit.
Tony Ma has a deuce king.
Jerry Buss folds a queen 8 offsuit, and look at this. David Chu in the big blind has picked up 2 jacks.
Oh, man.
Folds it to David in the big blind.
A big hand by David Chu right here.
Now, how do you play it, David? You go over the top, and he is. He's going over the top. He's going all in, Mike.
Him and men have exactly the same amount of chips, 64,000 apiece.
The crowd going a little crazy here. They like this action. Men says, here's another fine mess I've gotten myself into.
That's what he's thinking right now, because a king 10 sure doesn't look too good when a man moves all in on you.
He's probably a little annoyed. He played the 3-4 last hand, a little weak, and now it's snapping back at him. Oh, and he's going to make him count it up.
He says, give me a count. The count's going to be, it's going to cost the master about another $52,000 to call. That's what's going to count is going to result in. And does the master want to put in his last $52,000 with a king 10 offsuit?
Now, you see the great thing about how these guys play is that they don't let you breathe. I mean, men the master makes a nice solid raise, and these guys don't just play passive like you do in a lot of home games. A lot of average players will just call it maybe with the pair of jacks. They're scared. These guys play bold. They go all in.
Well, it's the correct play because you don't want to give a guy a chance to catch a king on the flop. So David Chu's made a very good re-raise here.
How you get more than me now? Shut up. I'm not talking to you. Of course, everybody bigger than me, I'm sure. But don't tell everybody. You gotta tell the whole world.
Well, he's over here laughing and giggling, but inside he's not laughing. I can tell you right now, he's got a big problem.
Oh, no, he's a wounded cowboy right now.
And if he calls here, he knows he's gambling just to try to outdraw his opponent.
He's not going to do it.
He folds his hand.
Well, David didn't have the straight face there. He gave away that potential tell of being happy. Sometimes they say when you actually give a nice laugh, that means that you're being honest with your hand. You have a strong hand.
That's the real tell to men right there was that David Chu moved all in on him. That was the real tell.
I'll tell you something. These guys are great poker players, and there's a little actor in all of them. But I'll tell you, when it comes to tells, those little signs that someone is bluffing, who better to talk to than actors? And that is what Shauna Hyatt did for this edition of Poker Corner.
A galaxy of stars have passed through here on their way to the Academy Awards. Good film actors get Oscars. Good poker actors get rich. In the realm of film and television, an actor's ability to effectively portray a character can garner great respect and even greater paychecks. But can these masters of make-believe translate those same tricks of the trade to the game of poker?
I think if you're a good actor, it helps you.
I'd like to think I have a good poker face.
So I'll be able to fake it the whole time.
If you're a bad actor, it's going to hurt you.
These cats, you know, they can just read your tells all over the place.
And reading your opponents is only half the battle. So just what did world champion poker players have to say about our actors' chances today?
When you're playing with celebrities that are not poker player, they're very unpredictable.
I have to pee.
You can definitely intimidate them, and even though they have the best hand, you got a good chance to take it away.
I'd be really surprised if one of the actors win the tournament.
The pros may have the upper hand, but what do the stars themselves think of their odds in this event?
With these guys, you know, it's straight up, it's real poker, and they're not messing around.
The amateurs can get lucky, but the celebrities that were at my table, they made moves like a celebrity would make, and they didn't get lucky.
And if all else fails, funny man Dom DeLuise has some practical advice for the No Limit Hold'em challenged.
Say nothing to anyone. This is your hand, right?
Okay.
And then you go, look, there's a caterpillar, and then when they're looking, you just go, and then you say, I think you have some sauce on your lip.
Okay.
See? Yeah, oh, my heart. Oh, my heart.
Mike, we have had a great turnout of people. Can you believe this turnout?
Well, you're right about that, Vince. The World Poker Invitational is unlike the other tournaments we do on the tour. There's no entry fee for these guys. You have to be invited to play in this event, and they're playing on a $200,000 free roll here.
Oh, man.
So you got to love it.
I think all poker players love to hear that word, free roll. Absolute freebie. Okay, it's going to be on Men the Master again with a King 3 offsuit. I love how he squeezes his hands. He really takes his time.
Notice how he cups his hands and protects his cards so his opponents don't get to see what he has. This is a lesson for everybody watching this show. You need to protect your cards when you're playing poker.
Tony Ma's going out with 4-9. Jerry Buss is coming in with Queen 9 of diamonds.
That's the kind of hand he wants to see a flop. The crowd lets out a cheer when Jerry comes into a pot. They love it.
David is enjoying the crowd, getting a little laugh out of this.
How do you raise that?
They're chanting Jerry. You know?
David's got 3 Queen of Spades. What's he going to do with it?
Well, it cost him just $2,000 to call. He's going to try to see if he can flop some spades, and he does call.
Now Lane's got a 10-jack, and he's also going to call.
Well, that's the kind of hand you want to see a flop on also. So we got a three-handed pot here. Here comes a flop. Now the flop is ace-10-7. Now notice that David Chu has flopped a flush draw, a queen-eye flush draw. He's got 4 spades. Now David checks.
Well, Lane's going to bet it.
Lane bet 5,000 with
Jerry
a 2-10.
quickly went out, and David called it.
Third card is an 8.
And now David checks again.
They both check.
Last card, a queen.
And now look at this. David has made 2 queens on the river.
Yes, he has. He's outdrawn Lane here.
He's checked again, and Lane has checked.
He's going to take this pot.
And the 2 queens win this pot. Now, David Chu was trying to make a flush. Instead, he made a pair of queens. They were good enough to win this pot. David Chu picks up the pot.
Now, look at this. Man the Master going over to Lane Flack.
Who's taller
You see, now this is what you do if you're a master. You go over there and you try to have, you know, nice conversations. You try to make your opponents laugh a little bit. This is what masters do.
Yeah, I got so.
There's a lot more poker action to come from the WPT Invitational at the Commerce Casino.
Don't forget, we keep playing till one player claims that top prize and bragging rights over an incredible field of top superstar professionals. That's all coming up on the World Poker Tour.
We're back to the World Poker Tour Invitational Tournament, and our celebrity player, Jerry Buss, up against 4 of the superstars of the poker world, is holding his own today, Vince.
Yeah, he sure is, Mike. I tell you, he's doing great.
And Man the Master is still sitting in Lane's lap here.
5 players, $100,000 at stake here. Tony Muzz's got King 3. He's not going to play. Nor is Jerry Buss.
David Chu with a 6 queen. He folds his hand. And now Lane calls with a 6-3 of clubs. 2 more thousand he puts in there.
Let him leave.
Man the Master has an 8 deuce of diamonds.
Let him live, he says. We're going to see a flop between Lane and Min. Remember, Lane has 6-3. Min has the 8 deuce of diamonds. And here comes 2 diamonds on the flop. Now Lane has flopped the bottom pair, and he comes out and bets 7,000.
Yeah, Min's got 4 diamonds to the flush. You got to make 5, of course. And look at this. I think he's going to raise it here.
He sure is going to raise it. I like this raise by Min the Master. He has nothing. It's what we call a semi-bluff in poker, in that he can make a hand if he hits it, but he's going to have to hit something if he gets called here to win this pot.
It's a good raise on the come, as we like to call it. Now Lane has a pair of 3s. Now look at Min. He's going over to Lane again.
Not much.
But Lane's a little serious here. He says, count it down. How much have you got left here? Now Min says, let me see your hand. Now Lane showed it to him. Now once he does that, his hand is dead.
I thought we were drinking together.
He has a dead hand.
He's got a dead hand. Basically, Min has won this pot no matter what. Look at this. A little playfulness pays off here. He's got to take the pot.
Now, Vince, his hand is dead because Min still had chips. You cannot expose your cards to the table or to your opponent as long as they still have chips that you can bet.
We have seen some amazing plays from Mr. Men the Master here.
Well, he's playing smart, that's for sure. Let's get more from our host, Shauna Hyatt.
Min Nguyen, not unlike other champions of his caliber, has more than just status as one of poker's supreme players. He also has a cool nickname, the Master.
Back to 89, I have the man who knows that I play a highly mistake. So he followed me around and he called me Sư Phụ. In Vietnam, Sư Phụ means master. So I said to myself, Min the Master is better.
Born in South Vietnam, Min the Master moved to the U.S. in 1978 and struggled, as many immigrants do, to build a new life for himself.
So when I came to this country, I don't even speak English. I got the job as a delivery man. After 10 years, I stopped with business and invested money in furniture business.
It wasn't long before he became a jack of all trades. But in 1985, after teaching himself the game of poker, he was obviously the master of one.
A lot of people come in to play poker. They buy the book, they read the book. Me, no. I create my own strategy. What the heck, go all in. Instant. Maybe I was born a poker player.
Starting the day in the number 3 chip position with 62,000, the master will have his work cut out for him to break away from the pack and overcome Lane Flack's huge chip lead.
Hopefully I'm running to him and double chip by Lane Flack. That's what I'm going to do.
Well, at this stage of the tournament, Lane Flack's still our big chip leader. In second chip position is David Chu.
I'll tell you something, these guys are having a good time here, it looks like, today so far. And it's going to be on David right now. He's got 5-queen offsuit. He's not going to play. Now, Lane's got 9-10 of clubs.
That's the kind of hand you like to see flops with, and Lane calls.
He is calling. Men's out. No, Tony's going to call this hand with a 5-7.
He's in the small blind. He calls 2,000 more, and Jerry Buss knocks the table. We're going to have a 3-way pot here.
Jerry's got queen 8.
Flop is 9-7 deuce. Now Tony Mall has flopped 2 7s, and he checks.
Jerry checks also.
And Lane has flopped a top pair with 2 9s, and he comes out and bets 20,000.
Jerry goes away again. I'll tell you something, Jerry's been very quiet.
Well, Tony Mall made a good lay down there with the second pair. Lane picks up another pot. And as we continue, Lane will be the first to act in this hand. Picked up a 10-jack. It's the kind of hand he likes to see a flop with. He calls 4,000.
Now, man, the master's got an 8-king of spades.
And he calls. And Tony Mall mucks a 3-10. Now Jerry Buss in the small blind has picked up 7-9 of clubs, and he calls. So we're going to have a pot here. 4-handed action.
Flop comes ace.
Whoa. Flop comes ace-6-5 with 2 clubs. Now this gives Jerry Buss a straight draw and a flush draw, and he's leading right out here, Vince.
Look at this. He is coming right out.
Very nice bold playing right here by the owner of the Los Angeles Lakers, Jerry Buss.
Now, the interesting thing is David Chu has top pair. He's got the aces. With a bad second card, he has a deuce kicker.
Well, a kicker is the second card that may come into play if both players have the same pair.
He's got
right
a
now,
decision to make.
He has a big decision to make right here. And he's got the kind of hand that if David raises it, I think you're going to see Jerry Buss gamble and play this pot.
He's going to turn it down.
Lane folds, and Min folds, and Jerry Buss, by bold, aggressive play, picks up that pot. Nice play by our celebrity owner of the Los Angeles Lakers, Jerry Buss.
That was a great play. He bet on the come, 4 to the flush, no hesitation. Jerry Buss just pushing it in.
Got his opponent to lay down 2 aces. You got to give him credit there, Vince. Nice play right there by Jerry.
And it's going to be on Jerry Buss first to act. He's got queen 6 in his hand. He's not going to call.
He folds.
David has a 7-6.
David folds. Now we're back to Lane again. Now here's Lane. He's picked up king 10 offsuit on the button. It's a favor over the blind positions. Lane knows it. He raises the pot.
Yes,
comes
he
in
does.
for 8,000.
Man, the master going out. Tony Ma now. Now look at this. Tony Ma's picked up ace-jack offsuit.
And Tony Ma's moved all in.
He's going all in, Mike.
He has moved all in over the top of Lane Flack for all his chips.
50 more.
Strong, aggressive move by Tony Ma, trying to get Lane out of this pot.
And Lane asked him how much more it is. It's 52,000 more for him to call here. He has put Lane Flack to the test here.
Lane just checking Tony out now.
Tony's staring right down there at him.
Lane Flack, loosey. He's playing real loosey-goose. He's saying that he wants a coin to flip.
Need a coin.
Oh, no.
He needs a coin. He wants to see. This is one way to determine if you're going to play the hand or not. Flip a coin. If it's heads, you play. Tails, you don't.
Oh, here he goes. He's flipping it up.
Damn.
2 out of 3.
Now, he doesn't like the way it came out.
He wants to do
flip
it
it again.
Oh. Look at this guy. This guy loves to play from his gut. He only has King 10 in his hand. It's nothing great. He's actually considering calling this hand.
Yes, he is. Now, I think he knows he's gambling if he calls this hand. It's another $50,000 to call him. He can afford the chips to call, but do you really want to double up a guy as tough as Tony Ma on a marginal hand like this? Meantime, look at Tony Ma's face. I think at this stage, Tony Ma knows he has the best hand here, Vince. So, really, in my mind, he doesn't care if he gets played with or if he wins the pot right here.
Well, we will see. Lane just laughing it up.
Now, most people would just prefer to win the pot right here, but I think Tony really doesn't care if he gets played with here because he wants to double up and get back in the hunt to win this tournament. And he calls it.
He's going to call.
Lane Flack is called.
Interesting call with
so
just King 10.
This is Ace-Jack against King 10 offsuit.
He knows he's an underdog here, of course.
Yeah, I think Tony Ma's about a 2-to-1 favorite to win this pot.
And here we go with the flop. Oh, he's done it.
He has done it.
So far, so good for Lane Flack. He's hit the pair of kings on the flop.
Now, Tony's going to have 2 runners to make a straight or catch an ace right now.
He's not going to get it there.
Tony Ma is going to need an ace to stay alive in this tournament, or he would be our 5th place finisher. He does not get it.
He doesn't do it. He's knocked out.
Tony Ma has been outdrawn by Lane Flack. He gambled that hand with a King 10 offsuit. It's paid off.
Oh.
He feels unlucky, but I guarantee he doesn't feel bad about the way he played that pot. All you can do in poker is get your money in with the best hand. Tony Ma did that.
What a tough beat for Tony Ma.
I've made worse calls.
I wish someday I had a chance to be here again at final 6 player. I feel very good to play with all of them.
Told you I wasn't a dog.
Well, Vince, they say timing is everything, and you saw right there, Lane Flack gambled that pot, outdrew his opponent, and won it.
Yeah, and his confidence is just getting greater and greater. I mean, this guy, he can play. He bluffs. He makes good calls. He's got great gambling instinct. This is what a great poker player is all about. All right, it's going to be on David Chu this time.
Down to our final 4 players. Here comes David Chu coming in for $12,000.
Well, he's got a big hand. He's got ace, queen. Lane's going out.
And Lane folds. Now look at this. Min the Master has picked up the speed limit, 2 5s.
I am all in.
He's moved all in.
He's going all in.
Is he speeding here with these 2 5s?
The crowd loving this. Mr. Jerry Buss has a little decision. He has King 9 of spades, but he's not going to call. He's getting out of the way.
Well, look at the value, though. I hit that hand. I'm playing heads up with you, you know?
So now David's got to decide whether he wants to put the rest of his chips in.
Well, it's 43,000 more to David Chu.
Now, interestingly enough, 4-handed, a pair of 5s is very strong. But ace-queen is extremely strong, too.
Well, I would be surprised for this amount of money if David Chu folded this hand.
So the action is picking up here. David Chu's going to call
it. There it is. David Chu is calling.
Another showdown.
We've got 2 5s by Min the Master. He's a slight favorite right now over the ace-queen. Will he do it? Stay tuned for the exciting conclusion of this pot to see if the Master stays alive right here on the World Poker Tour. Welcome back to the World Poker Tour Invitational. Right now, we have Min the Master all in. If he loses this pot, he'll be gone. He has 2 5s. He's a slight favorite over David Chu's ace-queen.
Okay, here we go with the flop. And it's a queen on the flop.
David Chu catches a queen on the flop. Min the Master is disgruntled right now. He knows he's got to catch a 5 or he's out of this tournament.
Okay, 4th Street is not going to be a 5. He's going to need a miracle for the last card.
He's got to have a 5. He does not catch it. Min the Master has gone out. Back-to-back, we've lost Tony Maw and Min the Master, 2 tournament players of the year. He puts his jacket on, he smiles, but he is gone, Vince, out in 4th position, and we are down to our final 3 players.
Min the Master, a great gentleman. We hate to see him go. A big smile. What a competitor. But David Chu outdraws him there with the ace-queen.
There's nothing that I can do. There's a poker. So today I lose, tomorrow I win. It can ever, never change Min the Master.
Just despite the crowd.
Bet you must think this is like a Hollywood home game. I mean, they're bannering, they're laughing.
Yeah, I played in a game or 2, yeah.
Well, on the World Poker Tour, we play mostly no-limit hold'em. But in home games, there's a variety of games that people play, and our own Shauna Hyatt has more on that.
In this edition of the WPT Poker Corner, when it comes to home games, for many a celebrity, it's a good excuse to corral a close-knit circle of friends for a little quality time.
I play poker quite a bit.
I play Wednesday nights with all the guys.
We have a group of friends that play poker every week.
I used to have tournaments at my house. I've had a game at my house going on for 14, 15 years.
It's a lot of laughs.
I get ridiculed for my bad snacks.
Meatloaf has played in my game a couple of times.
Charlie Durning.
Dave Schwimmer.
Rod Steiger.
Of course, now he hasn't brought his money back.
It's mostly just to get together with people and have fun.
Does strip poker count?
Oh, it's a lot of fun.
But for some, the home game can be a serious affair to remember when a fistful of dollars is on the line.
The most money I've ever won in a home game is $11,000.
$16,000.
There's a ridiculous, terrible, cruel game called Bloody Sevens.
They go like this, $1,200.
They'd look for an extra $200.
I caught the guy cheating. They're all devious.
Yeah, that one will hurt you.
Yeah, it hurt.
Some celebs forego home games altogether, preferring the sting and excitement of big-time tournaments over the friendly wager among friends.
I never played in a home game in my life.
It's hard for me to schedule a home game.
I played in tournaments.
I usually come in and play poker tournaments whenever I get the chance.
Played in 6 no-limit tournaments.
No, I think tournaments are exciting.
Tournaments are fun
Because you get a high that you don't get in home games.
it's very relaxing for me.
So whether you prefer high-stakes tournaments or steak-on-the-grill home games, understanding the mechanics is still key to sparing your sanity and your savings.
I'm trying to give them a couple tips.
I think people have an image of poker that it's kind of hard.
Stay in no matter what, stay in.
I thought that it was mainly about bluffing.
It's not that way.
But I learned you just got to be cool and not bet so much in the beginning.
I think you should fold sometimes.
Sometimes when I play poker, I'm happy.
See, it's that easy.
When I lose,
Well, Vince, I got to tell you, I'm starstruck around here. This is like a who's who of People magazine.
What's interesting is now you got a VIP celebrity guest. The owner of the Lakers, Jerry Buss, has made the final 3 players.
Wow, kill me. That slayed me.
This is quite an accomplishment.
It sure is, but right now he has really got a mountain to climb because these 2 guys he's up against are 2 legitimate poker all-stars. Now the action's on, David.
Obviously,
So he's laying this one down.
Lane's got a deuce, 9 of clubs this time. He's going to call it. Now look at this. Jerry Buss has got a pair of 6s, but he's not going to raise with it.
No, that's a weak play in my opinion. I think Jerry should raise
Here
Lane
comes the
Flack
flop.
right there. Don't get yourself outplayed after the flop. And now Lane has outflopped him. He's flopped a pair of 9s.
Yes, he has.
He
But
bets
Jerry-
4,000 on the flop, and Jerry calls him.
That's right. Jerry has an inside straight draw. Now a 10 comes up.
Now 2 10s are out there. Now Lane still has the best hand with 2 9s. Jerry has 2 6s. Lane bets 7,000 and Jerry calls again. The crowd cheers. They love it when he's in a pot. He's going to need help to win this one, though. Wham! He gets it.
Oh, that's a huge card. Look at this.
He has made a full house.
Yes, he has. Now, how's he going to play it? This is a huge last card for Jerry Buss.
And Lane turns around, looks at the crowd. He had checked. Jerry bets 15,000.
What are you milking me for?
Lane shows him the pair of 9s and lays his hand down. And Jerry shows him the full house. The 6 came at the river.
Well, look at the instinct of Lane Flack not knowing when to get out. Jerry just had to sneeze on that. He was going to get him out just by his reaction.
Well, Vince, give Lane credit there. He bet on the flop with the best hand. He bet on 4th Street with the best hand. When he had the worst hand, he checked. Jerry bet. He threw his hand away. Uncanny ability by Lane Flack right there, even though he lost that pot.
Small blind. All right. Did you take?
Well, it's going to be up to Lane Flack, who has picked up a deuce and a 3. He's not going to play it.
Now Jerry's in the small blind with a queen 10 offsuit. And he calls.
He's just going to call it with a queen 10.
David Chu has a jack 10 and calls. Here we go.
Now look at this. That pairs up David. Hits him with a pair of jacks.
Now Jerry's the first to speak. Now he's leading out and betting at this pot with a queen 10. He has nothing. He's trying to steal it. David Chu, however, has flopped the top pair here.
Yeah, Jerry's going to try to do a little stealing job here. Let's see if it works.
Well, I don't think it's going to work when you flop the top pair, but...
Now, last time Jerry pushed David out with the ace, Jerry was on the semi-come with the flush draw, as you remember a few hands back. Can he push David out again? No, he's not going to do it this time. He's going to call him.
He cannot. David Chu calls.
Here comes 4th Street.
Now 4th Street is a king. Now this gives Jerry an open-end straight draw. He has king, queen, jack 10. Now he checks.
This time he checks. David still in front with the pair of jacks.
Now look at David Chu betting 15,000 here. What a very nice bet right here by David Chu.
Now this is interesting because Jerry now has a legitimate big drawing hand, an open-ended straight. What's he going to do?
Well, normally when he picks up cards like that, they muck him, and I think that's what he's going to do, or you wouldn't pick him up that high off the table. But he does have a draw, Vince. You're right about that.
Where's their coin?
Where's that coin, he says. He's not going to play it.
And he folds. An interesting laydown right there by Jerry.
I'd like to see the next card. Can we do a little rabbit hunting here?
No rabbit hunting here on the tour. There's a lot more poker action to come from the WPT Invitational here at the Commerce Casino.
Just remember that people lie, just like in real life. And when people bluff in poker, they're lying. So be aware of that in poker and in life.
Hi, I'm Norm Macdonald, and you're watching the World Poker Tour.
Well, Vince, the price of poker is going up now. It's a $1,000 ante, and the blinds are $3,000 and $6,000.
The winner of this free roll tournament will not only win $100,000, but also get a guaranteed seat at Bellagio for the WPT Championship. Going to be very exciting. Okay, it's going to be on David Chu to act first. He's got queen 5 in his hand. He's going to throw it away. Lane's got queen deuce of hearts.
And he's going to call to try to see a flop.
Don't you ever have a premonition like maybe...
Not like you do.
Now look at this.
Well, Jerry's got ace 10 of hearts. You got to love that in a three-way situation. What's he going to do?
He just knocks the table.
He's just calling, yeah.
It's a weak play here by Jerry Buss. He should have re-raised Lane Flack right there with that hand. You can't let Lane see flops because he'll outplay you after the flop.
Well, this is interesting. He is betting right into Jerry.
And he made a pair of queens.
Should have raised before the flop.
But he opts to fold it, and he turns up the ace-10 of hearts.
He shows it.
It's compounding his problems, in my opinion.
It would have been a flat, good raise.
And Lane is chiding him here.
Player of the week, Kobe Bryant. Step it up.
Great poker player, Lane Flack. He's got that sixth sense.
I got news for you. Lane Flack has a 6th, 7th, and 8th sense when it comes to no-limit hold'em.
People probably think I'm going to play a lot faster than I try to run over them, but I probably won't do that. Unless the cards come as well as they did last night.
He's an action man, Lane Flack, no doubt about it.
Started with a whole bunch of players, celebs and great pros, and we're down to 3, so he's doing something right. It's got to be on Lane again.
Must be showing.
To act first, he's got 8 queen of diamonds this time.
22.
And he's going to raise.
He comes in for 22,000.
This is very tough, David.
I knew it up on the
Just shaking his head. He's got a little punch. He doesn't know what to do.
I got the best hand. I had the best hand before.
Well, he had the best hand before, he just said, which he did.
But if on the flop I don't have the big hand, he's going to just, right?
Talk about second guessing now, but he's going to throw this hand away.
He throws this hand away. I mean, he's getting pretty timid here.
David's got Jack 10 of diamonds. That's a really strong hand.
Well, it's the kind of hand that you want to see flops with. It's going to cost David another $16,000 to call.
And he's coming in.
And he does. He calls it, so we're going to see a flop here. This is David Chu and Lane Flack in the pot.
Okay, well, David's picked up the pair of 10s.
Now the flop has come King 10-6. Now an 8 comes off. And it goes check, check. It goes check, check again.
Okay, the Jack hits David for 2 pair now.
Now David has 2 pair and he checks again.
2 7s. Check.
He's throwing a little bait out there for Lane, but Lane doesn't go for it.
Yeah, he was trying to trap him a little bit, and David's got to win this pot.
He turns up the 2 pair and he wins the pot.
And look at Lane making him sweat, pretending like he had it. And of course, playing games with David Chu.
Now give Lane Flack credit there, though. Normally he's an attacking, aggressive player. That time he checked after David checked, trying to trap him every time. Lane didn't go for it.
Wow.
His timing is impeccable.
Well, he knows he's got that sixth sense.
You're going to have a lot of problems with me.
Great poker player, Lane Flack. All right, Jerry looks at a 4-8. He's going to go out. David Chu has picked up ace-10 of diamonds. That's a huge hand in this position.
It's a very nice hand. And look, he just calls. He doesn't raise with it.
Bad boy Lane is just
going to call it. Now here's Lane. He checks also, and he has an ace-high.
Ace-6.
Yeah. Now that's pretty amazing to me.
Here comes the flop.
Neither one of these guys raised with an ace in a heads-up game.
Look at this flop.
Crazy 8s. 3 8s have come up on the flop.
Now what do you do?
Well, if you're Lane, you almost have to think ace-high is the best hand right here.
Now don't forget, you play your best 5 cards. Your 2 in the hand, and there'll be 5 in the middle.
And David Chu comes up betting $15,000. Lane quickly says all in.
All in?
Now Lane thinks his ace-high is the best hand right here. And now look at David Chu. Now he is put to the test right here. He has the best hand with ace-10. But is he going to call all his money? If he's wrong and loses this pot, he's out of this tournament.
I call.
No.
Now, folks,
and he calls.
He's calling.
David Chu thinks his ace-10 is the best hand. What a great call right here by David Chu.
It's an amazing call.
It's ace-10 versus ace-6. Now, the only way David Chu can lose this pot is if a 6 comes off the deck.
Here it comes.
Whoa!
A 6!
Look at this. A 6 comes off. Lane Flack has outdrawn David Chu.
Oh.
If David doesn't catch a 10, he is out of this tournament, or the case 8.
This is a sickening
tie. Oh, look at David.
It's going to work.
I'll tell you, you got to feel heartbreak for David Chu right there.
Oh, this isn't poker. This is Russian roulette. That was ridiculous.
David Chu made a great bet on the flop. He made a great call when Lane Flack moved all in on him. He thought he had the best hand. He did so. He really played unlucky to lose this pot, Vince.
I can't believe what I'm seeing. That is such a tough beat.
And Lane Flack outdraws another guy that he busts.
How do you feel right now?
A little depressed, but I'm disappointed. I go all in with the best hand. Well, that's poker.
We're going to take a little break. We're heads up. WPT Invitational. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the WPT Invitational. So far, poker player and tournament reporter Andy Glazer finished in 6th place, busting early in the tournament, taking an ill-fated stab at chip leader Lane Flack in an attempt to break away from the pack. Lane continued to sit comfortably on his mountain of chips, waiting out the storm while the other 5 veterans took their respective shots. Tony Ma was next on the cutting block, going all in against Lane as he made his play for the pot. Men the Master took the reins but lost control in an all-in battle against David Chu, busting out in 4th place. David then went for the gold but found no glory, going head-to-head in an all-in fight with Flack, getting knocked out in 3rd place. Finally, Lakers owner and tournament favorite Jerry Buss continues to put up a solid fight for the celebrity contingency, proving his power as a winning team owner and poker player. And now, back to the heads-up clash, as only one of these 2 titans will walk away with $100,000 in cash and the WPT title.
Well, Vince, we're down to it. The cash is on the table, the trophy's on the table, the equivalent of the NBA Finals. It's head-to-head for the title.
Look at that cash. Actually looks like Jerry got pickpocketed there. But here he goes, heads up. And Jerry's got a 5 ace, and when your heads up ace is pretty good.
It's very good, but he just calls, Vince. He does not raise here.
Lane's got a deuce queen offsuit. Here we go with the flop. Well, Jerry's going to check with his ace high. Now Lane's picked up a pair of deuces.
It's gone check, check. And a king turns off. Now this gives Lane a pair of deuces and an inside straight draw.
Jerry checks to him.
And Jerry checks the ace high.
He's giving him a license to steal here.
And Lane bets.
That's what I'm trying to explain to you.
But did you have a deuce?
He shows the ace high. And Lane picks up the pot. Now Vince, right here, you know, I believe Jerry Buss has got to recognize he's got to raise and force Lane to make decisions before the flop.
Come on, you're nitpicking. What the heck does he care? The man owns the Lakers. He owns Los Angeles. You know, Mike, it's truly amazing to see the people that showed up for this tournament. I mean, have you ever seen anything quite like this?
Well, you're right about that, Vince. Let's go to Shauna and meet some of these celebrities.
I've had the best time these past few days watching celebrities and World Championship poker players go heads up. You got to check this out.
What do you get when you mix superstars of the poker world with some of Hollywood's biggest icons? You get one big star-studded poker event.
It'll be cool to play against the best guys. I think I'll be out in probably a half an hour or I'll make the final table.
My strategy today is to show a little discipline because, I mean, these guys have the patience of sharks.
And on their faces, no expression at all. And they play with their chips. I don't trust them, any of them.
Though many of today's celebrity invites do play in home games, our world-class poker pros were more than happy to give them a lesson or two in the art of tournament poker.
Most of the celebrities came up and thanked me for helping, teach them the game.
I was getting tips from Bill Helmuth.
It's a great combination of celebrities and legends, and they were all very helpful.
They kick your ass, but they are so willing to give tips.
But I'll tell you, it's difficult for a celebrity to come along and compete against the top players in the world.
It's my turn? Check.
What are you gonna do? You'll get in the next 10.
They gave award-winning performances in this tournament, but as the curtain closed, it became pretty obvious this wasn't going to be a Hollywood ending, as our celebs began to drop one by one.
So what's it feel like to be the first one out?
Well, it feels great. I like it, huh?
So what are you gonna do now?
I'm gonna go home.
Those chips, it bugged me playing with them all the time, so I just decided to give them all away and come say, hi, how you doing?
Hi, good, how are you?
I suck.
In the end, only poker's fittest would survive to take their seat at the WPT final table, a gathering of mostly elite players, except for one, the Lakers owner, Jerry Buss.
Tournaments are fun because it requires absolute concentration, and that gives me the ability to forget all my other problems.
Well, Vince, at this stage, Lane Flack has a big lead with about $950,000 in chips, as opposed to Jerry Buss's $95,000. But who would have believed one of our celebrities could have come down to play heads up for this title?
Well, you know when I come in, I'm going to have the big hand then, don't you?
No. I'm a stubborn person.
And let's take a look at his hand. He's got a 4-5 this time, offsuit. And Lane's going to call with a king and a 4. Here we go with the flop.
Flop comes king, jack, 10, 2 spades. They both check.
Okay, well, Lane's picked up a pair of kings, and they both check. Lane's trying to trap a little bit there, maybe.
The deuce comes off on the turn.
Jerry checks again. Lane plays
checks
very softly.
Now, pair of deuces.
What's Jerry going to do?
It's up to Jerry. Now, Jerry has absolutely nothing. A 4 and a 5 here.
Oh, look at this.
Look at this. He's betting 10,000.
He got him to bite.
Lane quickly calls him. He has caught the owner of the Lakers with his hand in the cookie jar here.
Oh, yes, he has.
I'll tell you, Jerry Buss was traveling on that play, Vince.
That's...
He got the turnover there, I'll tell you that.
That's his first discouraging move there.
Well, I like the move.
I do, too.
I like that Jerry Buss is taking an aggressive mode to try to steal a pot off Lane Flack. You know, he lost that pot, but I like the fact that he's making an effort to try to win some pots here.
If you like it so much, how come you're screaming?
Well, that's why I like it. Well, Vince, who would have thought one of our celebrities would get down to heads up to play for this title?
I tend to play the very best there is because there's no thrill to me to be just average players. I like to go up against the best.
Here's Lane on the button this time. Now, look, Lane's picked up a nice hand.
King 10 he's got. But Jerry's also got an interesting hand, Jack 9 of hearts.
That's the kind of hand you want to see flops, and Jerry's going to look at a flop, and here we go. That's a nice flop for Jerry. Comes 9-4 deuce with 2 diamonds. So Jerry Buss has flopped the top pair here.
And you say Jerry, he's going to come out and bet it.
And look at this. Lane has called 15,000. What an amazing call by Lane Flack right here.
Basically nothing.
Now the board pairs 4s.
And here he goes again.
That's it. He's not fooling around. No more free cards. And for Lane this time.
Look at the body language from Jerry Buss.
Hey, right now he's like Shaq. He's backing the guy in back to the basket right here.
Security hasn't came around yet?
What is Lane thinking about doing here with
He's
King
got
High?
to go out.
Nothing. He throws it away.
This is a great little run for Jerry Buss. The man is still alive here. Heads up. Stay tuned. We're in Los Angeles for the WPT Championship on the World Poker Tour. We'll be right back. Back to the World Poker Tour. Talk about confidence. This guy could make Muhammad Ali seem shy. Now this is interesting, Mike. Jerry's picked up ace, king, big slick, and he's just calling it.
No, I don't like that play. I don't like letting Lane see free flops.
And here it comes.
9, 7, 6, 3 suits. Now here comes Jerry leading out with ace king.
Okay, here he comes.
Into a very dangerous flop for his hand.
Lane's calling with an inside straight draw. That's it.
Look at this. A 10-3 of diamonds. Lane calls.
Jerry's going to check it this time.
Jerry checks. And look at this. Lane bets 20,000.
Jerry quickly throws it away, Mike.
And Lane shows him the 10-3.
Don't make it that easy.
Don't make it that easy, he says. Woo.
And deuce?
No. You know what I laid down?
Don't lie, Jerry.
6
ace king.
We know what you had, Jerry.
Wait, lay down. Because you know I'm going to get there.
Another turnover right there by Jerry Buss, in my opinion. Well, Vince, Jerry Buss allowed himself to get outplayed that time by Lane Flack.
But he is heads up here, going for the gusto.
This may be a good hand here.
Look at this. Jerry's picked up a real hand, a pair of 9s.
He just limps in on the button, and look at this. Lane has raised it 36,000.
Jerry's going all in. He trapped the man. The crowd loves it.
Yes, they do. They know that he's trapped him somewhat.
Now, Lane has an ace-5. I mean, he can still call this hand.
Well, it's only 51,000 more for him to call. There's 126,000 in the pot, Vince.
He's getting up.
He's getting a real good price on his money here.
Jerry, you didn't even think about it.
Didn't even think about it, he said.
4, 5.
You know, you talk about changing gears. Jerry Buss has done that, and that's what really good players do. He's mixed up his game plan beautifully.
Oh, Jerry turned up his hand.
Well, he thought that Lane was folding.
Oh.
You know what? I'm not going to call no matter what now.
I'm sorry, I thought you folded when you threw in the chip.
Jerry thought he folded.
Sorry.
Lane said he didn't.
Lane shows the ace of clubs and passes.
At least let us see a flop, okay?
Oh, no, tell me you're going to get your wish of the rabbit hunt here.
Yes!
No!
Give me my rabbit hunt.
You got to be kidding me. Folks, you want to know what rabbit hunting is? Here it is.
Well, the hand is basically over.
You see everything on the World Poker Tour.
No, wait a minute. Here.
You could either be delighted or
now look, he wants to rabbit even more. Look at this. Look what you've caused here, Vince.
Well, in Hollywood, you do that. You rabbit hunt.
Oh, no.
Sorry, Lane. When you threw the chips in, I thought you threw your cards in, too.
No, I was pushing the 31.
I'm sorry. I really am.
Well, I tell you, he feels good about it now, though, because he realizes that if Lane played, he would have lost. An ace would have come up. That's why we rabbit hunt.
Honest mistake.
Okay, down the stretch we go. Jerry's picked up a pair of 10s.
Get that on camera?
And he's just going to call.
He just limps in. He does not raise with these big hands.
But what's interesting, look at this. Lane Flack has picked up a pair of 8s.
Uh-oh, we could have a nice clash here. This is 2 10s versus 2 8s, and here goes Lane. He's grabbing chips. He raised it, makes it 46,000.
And Jerry is going to go all in, Mike.
No!
And Lane quickly called him.
He's quickly calling him.
It's 2 10s versus 2 8s.
You're in bad shape.
Jerry is in good shape right here. He is about an 80% favorite to win this pot.
Oh, he has got to be excited. This is why we play poker, for this exact situation.
This is 2 10s versus 2 8s. Jerry Buss has a real good chance to double up right now in this tournament.
Well, he's got a real shot here.
Come on, 10.
He has turned it around. He trapped it by just calling.
There it is.
Bang, there it is. Jack 10-9, but wait a minute.
One more 10.
You know a queen's coming.
One more 10.
3 of a kind on the flop.
This flop actually helps Lane Flack in that he now has 8 cards he can win with. A 7 or a queen will give him a straight.
You're right about that. He's got some outs.
He has an open-in straight draw. He'll make a straight if a 7 or a queen comes off.
Here it is. Not yet. It's not going to get there.
It's a 6. If Lane doesn't catch a 7 or a queen, Jerry Buss will double up.
Last card.
It's a 9.
Jerry doubles up.
He's done it, Vince.
Yeah. Crowd going nuts here.
This is bad for publicity.
I'll tell you one thing, give him credit now. Jerry Buss is hanging with the big dogs here. He's been on the short stack. He's hung on a long time. He's now doubled up. And believe me, he's not out of this thing. If he doubles up 2 more times, he will have a 3-2 chip lead.
He may only be the owner of the world's most celebrated NBA team, but don't feel bad for Los Angeles Laker owner Jerry Buss. He can also hold his own on the professional poker court.
That's what I'm bringing you straight to the table. 5-7 snake cubes in the full and sable.
I enjoy playing tournaments. I've played against most of these people for the last 10, 15 years. It's just really exciting to be heads up with some of the greatest in the world.
He loves Hold'em. That's the only game he plays. He plays for fun most of the times, but he can win as well. Even though he doesn't need the money, he plays to win.
Having played for years with many of the world's top poker players, does Jerry feel he has the home court advantage?
I don't think knowing them helps me that much. It probably helps them more than it does me. They look for the tells. I'm not smart enough to pick that up.
Jerry may feign weakness, but don't let basketball's world champion owner fool you. When he plays to win.
Well, it's big business, so large stakes poker does not frighten me. I mean, I'm not intimidated with $25,000 raises and things like that.
Not only has he fought his way through a hail of Hollywood's A-list and poker's elite to earn his seat at the WPT final table, Jerry still has one key offensive play yet untapped: to beat chip leader Lane Flack.
Well, they say God is a Laker, and so I'm going to try to remind him of my association and pray a lot.
Stay tuned for more exciting poker action. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the Commerce Casino. I'm Vince Van Patten with Mike Sexton. We're going heads up. Lane Flack versus Jerry Buss. Who would have thought?
Yes, if there's such a thing as home court advantage, he's got it here today.
Okay, it's on Lane. He's got a 3 and a 5 of heart.
But he raises it 25,000 to go. And look at this. Jerry Buss has picked up 2 10s. What a nice hand for him right now.
Holy Lakers, he did it. Pair of 10s.
And he's re-raised it.
That's it. That's what you got to do.
Now, he's only re-raised every time he's picked up a big Duke. Lane only has a 3 and a 5.
How much more?
He's in position on the button. He's got chips, but this will be in a... He calls it. Look at this, 40,000 more. Yes, he calls with a 3-5, Vince.
I think Lane actually gave Jerry a compliment that last time.
Now, that's a pretty scary call there with a 3-5. Here comes the flop. Whoa, flop is king, king, queen, a Picasso flop, all paints.
But Jerry has a decision to make. He's a little timid. He's going to check it, and Lane's taking advantage of it with nothing.
Lane is betting out here with a 3 and a 5. Oh, my goodness.
That's a situation.
80,000. Lane has bet 80,000 on a stone bluff. Now, Jerry has 2 10s.
He's going to toss it.
And he throws them away. Uh-oh, look at the look on Jerry's face now.
I did not look.
He shows the bluff.
He put the dagger right in Jerry's heart right there. That was a huge turning point right there.
Oh, he's turning that dagger, too.
Had he played those 2 10s right there, he could have got a hold of a lot of chips.
I didn't see you see me not look.
Now, there's a case where Jerry just wouldn't pull the trigger on the flop right there, Vince. He's afraid his opponent had a king or a queen. I think you've got to pull the trigger on the flop when you re-raise the man.
Never mind that. He's got ace 10 of clubs in this hand, and he's right back in there. Now he's looking at his hand.
He's feeling pretty miserable about the way he played that last hand. It's a pot he should have won, and he lost it.
Lane's got 5-6, and we're going to see another flop. The famous 8s hit on the board.
Now here's a case where he didn't raise again with an ace 10 of clubs.
Oh, Lane, nice bet. Bets right into him. Gets Jerry Buss to go out.
My hands are getting better, by the way.
Lane Flack has just taken all these pots away from Jerry.
Showing it again.
Went from deuce 3 to... I have much better hands than that. Yeah, you better be worried now, because you know
Jerry has the best hand every time here. He's getting outplayed by Lane Flack. It's that simple. And you're seeing the difference between a top professional player and, frankly, a good amateur player.
One of the hottest young Hold'em players on the circuit today, 33-year-old Lane Flack out of Billings, Montana, has played most of his life, but took the poker world by storm just a few years ago.
Oh, that was sick.
Actually, I was in Montana and I just came to Las Vegas to play the Hall of Fame tournament. 1 year, first time I've ever been there, and I won one of the tournaments. So it happened very fast.
But this superstar's entree into poker started long before bankrolls, tournament wins, and world tours.
I actually worked in a casino and operated my own card rooms. So that's basically all I've done since high school and college. And it gave me an opportunity to, move around and actually make money while I got to travel and learn. So yeah, it came in handy.
Though he's dominated this tournament so far, taking in the lion's share of chips, Lane was more than happy to share a few tips with celebrity contenders.
Oh, you need me, don't you?
Giving them a step up.
Actually, before the tournament started, I ran a few pointers by quite a few of them. Caitlin, Mickey Rooney, Blue Diamond Phillips, Meatloaf, Mr. Loaf as I call him.
But movie stars aren't the only celebrities he's played with today. Lane has also had his experience with the sports world.
I actually played at Jerry Buss's house. He invites me to the Lakers game, and I sit up in the owner's box with him.
So the real question tonight is, if Lane does pull it off, walking away with the title and the $100,000 first prize, will he be going to a Lakers game anytime soon?
He's lost out of season tickets on the Lakers, that's for sure.
You know what? You're right. The tickets are gone. The shot at being a guard on the Lakers, that's all history, baby. You're gone.
But in truth, Lane has taken a lot of pots away from Jerry that he shouldn't be winning.
Jerry this time he's got a 9-8 in his hand.
And he limps in on the button to try to see a flop.
That's so weak.
And now here's Lane with a 9-5 offsuit.
playing it soft, too. Here's the flop.
Flop is king, king 3. Here comes automatic pilot. Firing out one more time.
And Jerry is not even going to think about it.
It went from deuce 3 to 5-6 to 8-4.
He's just going to take it down.
Now, for you viewers out there, you see the person who fires at the pot wins the apples most of the time.
Well, there's a lot of apples at stake here at this tournament. 100 grand to the winner.
Stay tuned for more exciting poker action on the World Poker Tour. We'll be right back.
Hello, I'm Brandy Roderick, and you're watching the World Poker Tour.
Welcome back. We're at the Commerce Casino. And Vince, what an event this has been.
Well, I can't believe what we're seeing here. Heads up, Jerry Buss, a VIP celebrity, owner of the Lakers, has made the final 2. He's playing incredible. He's getting lucky, too.
And Lane's going to call with his
now look at this.
6 ace of spades.
A very nice hand.
Jerry has Jack King.
And has Jack King of diamonds. Now that's an amazing hand, too. Now look at this flop. We should see some fireworks here.
Oh, yeah.
Look, it goes check, check. Oh. Now Jerry's got 2 jacks and a flush draw on checks.
He's checking again. And Lane has a pair of aces, and he's finally betting.
He bets 11,000, and Jerry just calls with 2 jacks and a flush draw.
This is peculiar play.
I'm amazed how conservative this play is.
Oh, yeah, the flush comes out for Jerry.
And here it comes. They're all pink.
You have an ace?
Jerry says, do you have an ace?
Table talk here.
He's moving all in. He's bet 79,000.
I love this. He shrugged.
Now look at this. Lane
do you
flat.
have an ace?
You can ask if you have an ace, play it.
He wants him so bad.
Look at this. He says, if you have an ace, play it.
And you bet into me?
Come on, this is poker. You know that.
Look at this.
He's
Lane
not gonna
shows
get
him
Lane.
the ace. Now Jerry just shows him the jack this time. He didn't show him the flush.
That's right. This is a great poker play by Jerry. I like that. He just showed the 1 card.
But what a laydown right there by Lane Flack. His instincts are uncanny, Vince. They really are.
Then I guess it's your turn to go.
And Lane this time calls on the button with Queen Jack of clubs. A nice hand on the button. Jerry's got 8-6 of diamonds.
Jerry checks.
Now he's flopped a flush draw. The flop is Queen 10-5.
We got to talk. Jerry, they cut her off.
Jerry leads out and bets 15,000.
Lane Flack has a pair of queens right here.
That's 15,000 to Lane, and he calls.
Ace of hearts.
Jerry checks. He's counting his chips down exactly, but in the meantime, he bet 25,000.
Let me give you a little insight.
Now look at this. He says, if you're moving in, I'm calling. And he puts his chips out there in the pot first.
Will you let me see a free card?
Now Jerry has a flush draw, and he lays it down.
I'm kind of surprised at that.
Well, mathematically, he made the right decision there. With just 1 to go, he laid down the flush draw. Lane Flack picks up the pot.
It's your turn for sure.
I don't know. I'm just getting the feeling there's like a very deep closeness between them.
I beg and beg.
That I can't explain.
Vince, you brought up the father-son situation. I'll tell you right now, the son is giving the father a no-limit hold'em lesson.
Well, I did mean it, but if you had to have a father, well, Jerry Buss wouldn't be a bad guy.
Hey, I'd like him to adopt me, I'll tell you that.
A lot of perks go with being his son, I bet.
Yeah, you're not kidding either.
All right. It's on Jerry. He's got King 10 this time, and he's going to play it.
He just limps in and calls on the button.
Passively, yeah. And Lane's got a 9-6 of diamonds this time.
It's the kind of hand he wants to see a flop on.
Here comes the flop.
Flop is ace, king, queen.
Lane bet that so fast it could make your head spin.
That's 20,000.
20,000. Jerry calls.
And Jerry called. Look at this. Lane just mucks his hand.
Oh, that's classic. Jerry calls it, and Lane says, enough. I've seen enough. I'm going away.
Why would you muck your cards at that stage when you could still win the pot?
Because we're in Hollywood, and in Hollywood, image is everything. Don't you know that?
All right. You got a good point there.
Well, this is some battle here. Don't forget, we're going for $100,000 for the first place, $60,000 for second, Jerry's got a 9-10 this time, and he's just going to call it.
He's just limped in here.
I think it's a 3-deuce offsuit, actually. But he's going to call this. He's going to see the flop, and here we go again.
10 trade deuce, 3 different suits.
Whoa, look at this flop. 10-3 deuce.
Oh, man, that's big for Lane.
It gives Lane 2 pair, and it gives Jerry Buss the top pair.
And Lane, with no hesitations, coming out and betting.
Yeah, here he goes. Jerry's calling him right away.
Yeah. Oh,
right now, Lane Flack has done it. He's in good shape right now.
This could do it. He's got 2 pair against Jerry's 1 pair.
Jerry Buss has 5 cards in the deck right now at this stage he can win with. But right now he's got to catch a 10 or a 9.
Well, the interesting thing is Lane has been setting Jerry up for such a long time with bluffs. He came out bet this quickly with 2 pair. I think Jerry thought he was in. Here we go with 4th Street.
Absolutely.
Can he get lucky?
Don't let the game in.
Me and Jerry want to play on. 9. I'm with you. 9. 9. Bingo!
It's a 9.
Skip the deal. Skip the deal.
Jerry pulling a card out of, I don't know what you want to call it.
His happy hour.
There it is.
For a 10.
10s and 9s.
You saw it.
You didn't want to be beat real bad.
What a sucker I am.
Jerry doesn't allow 10s and 9s against.
How the hell do you know what's coming all the time? You're scary, Lane.
The scary thing is Lane said a 9. He even knew it was coming up. This guy is clairvoyant.
In the meantime, Jerry Buss has doubled up and now has well over 200,000.
I tell you something, if he wins another hand like that, it's about equal. We're right back in the ball game with Mr. Jerry Buss, and I'll tell you something, we're going to take a little break with the WPT Invitational in Los Angeles. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. We're at the Commerce Casino for the exciting conclusion, the World Poker Tour Invitational Tournament. And Vince, what an event this has been.
Well, I can't believe what we're seeing here. Heads up, Jerry Buss, a VIP celebrity, owner of the Lakers, has made the final 2. He's playing incredible. He's getting lucky, too. I mean, stranger things have happened, but not for a long time.
I think both these players are enjoying each other's play. I mean, this Lane is bluffing his way through here. And Jerry, being a great sportsman, has to appreciate it.
Well, that was a nice lucky break for Jerry right there to catch that 9, to make a bigger 2 pair, to win that pot and double up. Okay.
He's not getting all the hands today, but he's taking the play away from Jerry.
Now look at this. Jerry is raising with a 3-6 offsuit, a total garbage hand. He's going to try to get in there and steal 1.
Okay, he's pulling a little bit of Lane Flack right there.
But Lane Flack has picked up King, Queen of Clubs, a big hand, and he calls the raise of 35,000.
Okay, a superior hand, and he's just calling.
Flop is Jack 9-4. Lane says all in.
Look at this move. He's going all in with an inside straight draw.
Doesn't even give Jerry a chance to bluff at this pot. He just takes the play right away from him. And now that Jerry's got 3-6, there's no way he can play this hand.
This is one sad-looking face on Jerry right now.
He's a sad puppy.
Oh, you can't get a read by looking.
I'm not trying to get a read. I'm just seeing if you want the game over, because, you know.
Oh, yeah, you know what? I didn't even think about that before.
For your eyes only, I fold.
For your eyes only, he says. He pitches the cards down there. Lane's going to have a look at it.
Oh, you're a big man.
Oh, like we're not all watching out here. Don't forget, guys.
Now, he must not realize the whole world gets to see his cards. It's no secret, right. Jerry. Turn them up for the audience to see.
Oh, I'll buy the next
we can see them. That's the beauty of the World Poker Tour. We get to see these cards. Jerry thinks he's got a secret going or something.
Well, I tell you, there's some type of secret rapport between these two guys. I don't know what they did in their past, but there's something underlying that these guys really seem to love each other. All
Unbelievable.
Right, we're coming back to the action. Lane's going to take a look at his hand, and this time he has Motown, Jacks, N5. And he's going to raise it.
That's Motown, is it?
Jackson 5s.
Jackson
the group,
5.
We call that Jackson.
Oh, of course, Jackson 5.
All right, and Jerry's got Queen 8 off suit. Here comes the flop. Oh, now look at this.
All right. Comes King 10-9. All clubs. Now, Jerry Buss has the Queen of Clubs, giving him a straight flush draw.
And he's not checking. He's not doing anything. He's going to gamble his chips here. He bet 60,000.
That's the way to take it to Lane.
And Lane Flack folds.
Show him the bluff, Jerry.
Well, that's not exactly a bluff when you're drawing at a straight flush.
I'll lay 8-1. You had the queen of clubs.
Lane says, I'm laying 8-1. He had the queen of clubs. It's exactly what he did have.
That's a bet on the come. It was nothing spectacular.
But I also had an ace.
Takes it to Lane, picks up the pot.
Well, with that pot, brings our chip count up to Lane now has 840,000 in chips, and Jerry has about 200,000 in chips.
Well, this has been an amazing matchup. Who would have believed that Jerry Buss could hang in there this long, play this brilliantly? Now it's going to be on Lane Flack first. And look at this. Lane Flack has picked up ace, queen of spade. He's going to raise it.
He's made it 60,000 to go, and Jerry's going all in right here.
Here goes Jerry. He has an ace 10 of diamonds.
And Lane beat him in the pot.
Two huge hands. This is going to be it, Mike.
He's finally done what I want him to do, Vince. All day he moved in and he's ran into a bigger hand. No.
You're right. He's going all in.
Lane Flack has the best hand right now.
Jerry's going to need a 10 for sure.
Or diamond draw or make some kind of straight. He's going to have help to win this pot. Otherwise, Lane Flack will be the champion of the World Poker Tour Invitational Tournament.
Oh, man, this is a rough one. If he should lose, Jerry Buss going with a super hand, but Lane has the ace-queen in front of him.
Vince, what's ironic is this is the play I've been wanting Jerry to make all day long. He finally made it, and now he's up against it because Lane picked up a bigger hand.
Oh, man, you're going to do that Monday morning quarterback thing.
Come on, diamonds.
But we're going to see, because you never know. This is Hold'em poker.
Anything can happen. You're right about that. Let's see the flop.
The crowd on its feet,
diamonds.
And here it is.
Where's that 10?
No, it's not going to help Jerry so far.
Well, the flop is deuce, deuce, 5. Now, what this means is Jerry's going to have a 10 to win the pot. He can tie it with a 5.
Lane is a big favorite. The 3's not going to help him also.
Well, the 3 gives him more outs to tie this hand. If a 3, 4, or a 5 comes up, it will be a tie and a split pot.
Here it is.
It doesn't.
It's over.
9 comes off.
It's over. Lane Flack has won this.
Well, he picks up 40,000 for second place. Lane gets the $100,000 and the $25,000 seat into the World Poker Tour Championship Final at Bellagio at the end of the season. What a great tournament by Lane Flack. It's been a great event here at the World Poker Tour Invitational, and we invite everyone to join us again next week on the World Poker Tour.
For the Travel Channel. Looking for the world's best hot dogs? Well, look no further than Tinks of Hollywood. Here they've got everything. The Ozzy Osbourne dog, the Millennium dog, the Lord of the Rings dog, and of course, the world's best chili dog. And if you're hungry for more of the world's best, from fantastic food factories to nature's top 10 wildest wonders, check out our top picks on World's Best every weeknight at 8, only on the Travel Channel.